Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 1993 Mazda Miata. Up front is a 1.6 liter inline 4, down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, this review is special for two reasons. First of all, as you saw, this is my 400th car review. This is my 400 car reviews. That's a lot. But also, this is my personal Miata. I have owned this Miata for 3 months now. I've put 7,000 miles on it, and it has been an absolute blast. And the reason why I point that out at the beginning of the video is that I might have some strong biases or weird information, and that's because this has been my daily driver for 3 months. Like I said, 7,000 miles. So I know a thing or two about a thing or two. So let's get back to that 1.6 liter inline 4. I'll put the power numbers up on the screen. Those are the stock power numbers. Is it still making that? That's debatable. I mean, it is 27 years old. However, this motor does have really good compression, so pick your poison. It's a very buzzy engine, but it's a very fun engine. Now, a couple things about the 1.6 liter. First of all, the next year, 94, was the first year for the 1.8 liter. So if you desire a little bit more power, look for a 94 and up. This is a 1.6 liter long nose. This is the long nose that you want. The first couple year cars, they had a couple issues, and even still, the long nose has a coolant reroute issue. Because this engine was actually designed for a front wheel drive application, cylinder 4 sometimes can get cooked. It doesn't get enough coolant flow. And so that might be something you would want to look into. If you're going to build power out of these things, if you want to enhance the longevity of your 1.6 liter, look into coolant reroute kits. Very important. Like I said, paired to it is a 5-speed manual transmission. It shifts great. It just clicks right into gear. It's absolutely amazing. It really genuinely feels good. And it's probably one of my favorite. Yeah. Oh, I love shifting this thing, man. It feels just so good. I mean, really, truly so good. Last but not least, of course, the Miata is rear-wheel drive. This car should have an open differential. However, a previous owner swapped it out for a limited slip. So most Miatas that you're looking to buy will probably have an open differential. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 5 main gauges. On the far left is my fuel. This gauge is super slow to read. So after you fill up, you're driving away from the gas station, it's gonna look like it's still on empty. It slowly goes back up, just something to note. Then I have my tachometer. Absolutely love this. It looks great. Then I have my oil pressure gauge in the very center. This is very important because later year Miatas just have high-low. It's just basically like an on-off switch. This actually gives you the digits, and I'll put up on the screen what years had the good oil pressure gauge. So if oil pressure is something you want to keep an eye on, if you want to track it or drift it or something like that, oil pressure is very important. Get one of these year Miatas, or at least swap in a gauge cluster from one of these year Miatas. On the steering wheel, I don't actually have anything, no cruise control, anything like that. I do have 2 tiny little horn buttons that look like Shrek's ears in my opinion. But I like the steering wheel. This is the stock steering wheel. To the left of me, I just have dimmer switches for the gauges. And then on the door, I have my crank for the window. No power windows in this particular Miata. However, there were some top-of-the-line NA Miatas that did come with power windows. Moving into the center, I have 2 air conditioning climate control vents, along with my hazard switch, and of course, my headlight pop-up button. Hit this, and the headlights will go up without turning on. They just pop up, they don't turn on. This is for flashing to pass. Really, mainly, it's for communicating with other Miatas. You just click it when you see another one, and you hi, things like that. Then I do have my climate controls. This does have AC, which is a very nice feature. Even for like a 93 car, it does have AC. And of course, I do have a radio. This is not the factory radio. It's an aftermarket unit. However, this is what the factory radio looked like. Then of course, we have the shifter. It has a leather shift boot surrounding it from the factory. This is the factory shift knob as well. I like it. It's all right. You know, it's not the most visually pleasing, but like I said, the shifter feels absolutely great. So I love it. Then normally there wouldn't be cup holders. This would be sort of like an ashtray little area, but my friend Alex bought me cup holders for my car. It's just a little plastic insert. You can get them on Amazon. They're like $15. Then we have a center console. Now, the important thing about the center console is that actually inside is the trunk release and the gas cap release. So anytime you have to open the gas cap or trunk from inside the car, you'll find that within the center console. The seats are okay. They're sporty seats. They're really thin and really lightweight seats, so take that as you will, although it does have headrest speakers. So there actually are speakers within the headrest, so when you're driving with the top down, you can still hear your music. I absolutely love that. However, mine are starting to go bad, but you can buy aftermarket upgrades, which I would highly, highly recommend. The nice thing about the back carpet is that it's the same material you'll find in a boat. So when it gets wet, it dries out in like 2 seconds. So you're fine. I love that about that. Now we'll take a look at the trunk space really quick and the convertible top. All right, so around the back of the Miata. To get into the trunk, like I said, there's that release in there, but you can also pop that. Now, of course, I do have my stuff in here. This is actually where you'll find the battery for the car, interestingly enough. And normally there would be a spare tire right there, but I did not have the hardware to mount it. Someone had lost that. So obviously, sorry, a lot of garbage in here. It's my daily driver, but it's actually not bad. The trunk actually isn't bad. Supposedly you can fit a golf bag in here full of clubs minus the driver. The driver would have to get out. Now, let's talk about the roof. My roof, so it's not a power top. You just fold it up like so, and then you have these, just like that. Obviously, my top has a huge hole in it. If you're looking for an aftermarket top, I'd highly recommend a Robbins top. Robbins, and you can get them with this vinyl, which I would recommend against because it's so flimsy and so terrible. But they also make glass ones with defrosters, which there is a sort of plug, I could actually probably show you, where you could hook up your defroster if you wanted so. Now we gotta talk about the looks. I love the look of the Miata. It's so cute. It just is. It's cute. It's a cute looking car. Of course with the pop-up headlights, but I love the supple edges. There's no hard, angry folds or bends in the bodywork. I think overall the Miata just looks absolutely great. I love all Miatas, but the NA just holds a special place in my heart. I just really truly love it. Now, one thing about the exterior is rust. I was lucky enough to find this car. It's banged up quite a bit, but it is rust-free. It's a Southern State rust-free car. The spot to look for on these cars is the rear rocker panels that I'm showing now. Because the soft top has drainage that goes behind those panels, if the drain gets clogged up, water just sits there and it rots your car from the inside out. So if you're looking for a Miata, that is the main part to look for rust. If you have good rocker panels, the rest of the car is going to be good. I promise you that. I'll briefly touch on this, although I did make a standalone video talking about this topic, is should you buy a Mazda Miata and should you daily drive it? You 100% should buy a Mazda Miata. You should have one, you should drive one, you should experience one. This has been one of the best cars I've ever owned. I've owned a handful, and this has to be right there at the top. It's a blast to drive on a back road when no one's around. It's amazing, it's fun. It's an absolute blast. On a back road, there's nothing better than a first generation Mazda Miata. In my mind, there is nothing better. However, daily driving, it is pretty cramped in here. I don't have a whole lot of space in the trunk. And honestly, my biggest concern, the reason why I'm actually getting rid of this car, is the safety concern. I'm very small. I have one airbag that doesn't actually work. My airbag light is flashing furiously at me. And so if you have a second car, a car that you can rely on when it rains, rely on when it snows, rely on when it's just a bad day, then by all means, you need a Mazda Miata in your life. But if you want to drive one of these every single day, everywhere you have to go, they're not the best. This one in particular is 27 years old. I mean, you can't get mad at a 27-year-old car for being a little tired and for the rubber getting a little brittle. But I promise you, driving a Mazda Miata has been some of the happiest times in my life. These last 3 months that I've owned this car have been amazing. I would not trade them for the world. This car has made me so happy. I'm really gonna miss it. But in selling it, I get to give one more person the honor of having a first-gen Miata. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to everyone who has viewed my 400 reviews. It's absolutely staggering to me. I cannot thank you guys enough. My reviews is the reason I was able to afford and purchase this car. I bought this car with 100% just profit from my reviews. That's it. That's how I bought this car, is doing stuff like this. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you everyone for this. This review was made possible by you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.